Hey guys, what's up? It's John Green back at it again with another Crash Course U.S. History, and today we're going to be talking about the Industrial Revolution, specifically in America, where many primitive inventions paved the way for the luxuries we have today, such as toilet paper, cell phones, machine guns, tractors, and cars, like this little one I have here. Oh wait, this is made of Legos, which were invented in Denmark, so this doesn't count. It may seem like the Industrial Revolution started here in America, but it actually began in Britain. Britain was very secretive about their new inventions and wanted to keep their machines from the rest of the world, so they would become an economic powerhouse.
Mr. Green, if Britain was so secretive, then how did America get a hold of how to make these inventions? How did they do it?
Well, me from the past, before I was so rudely interrupted, I was about to say that people like Samuel Slater memorized the exact way to build textile machinery and secretly left the country and came to the United States. The early United States was mainly an agricultural society, but although there was not much industry in the early 1800s, we were still destined to become an industrial giant for three reasons. First, there was an abundance of cheap land in the West. Second, there was plenty of money for investing. And third, raw materials were everywhere. Many people were buying this cheap land and thought that maybe they could harvest all the crops faster than the slaves could. So a man by the name of Eli Whitney did just that and invented the cotton gin. His invention was so influential in our economy that the cotton industry boomed and cotton exports rose from only 1,500 pounds in 1790 to over 1 million pounds in 1848. Also, by the year 1860, the southern U.S. had produced nearly 2/3 of the world's. With everybody buying cotton from the south, many cities grew exponentially and many people moved into these cities, such as this overcrowded one right here. Where's the model, Lebowski? That's more like it. Now, American industry was strengthened by the Embargo Act in 1807 that prevented any trading with outside countries, which strongly encouraged manufacturing in U.S. cities. After the War of 1812, the U.S. reopened trade, and this flooded markets with cheap British goods. But to counteract this, the federal government passed the Tariff of 1816 that protected American factories from international competition. This guaranteed the protection of American industries and resulted in many new inventions, such as the suspension bridge created by James Finley and the Gatling gun made by Richard Gatlin in 1861. Fun fact, one unfortunate inventor, William Bullock, slipped and fell into his very own invention, the rotary printing press, and was crushed to death. Oh look, it's time for the open letter. Aw, not this car again. Now it's time for the real open letter. An open letter to the American factory system. Dear American factory system, you were so helpful to the American economy back in the 1800s. In fact, you were the one who introduced the idea of using machinery and the division of labor in the same place. You sparked the construction of railroads between factories, as well as increased the abundance of goods in America. Thank you, American factory system. Best wishes, John Green. And this leads us into the market revolution. During the market revolution, small-scale production of goods gradually changed to large-scale manufacturing. This new form of producing goods led to an increase in the standard of living in the U.S., and average citizens became much more prosperous. Markets changed from making things just for yourself to either buying goods from others or creating goods for other people to buy. Because of this, trade between the states increased and dependence on imports from other countries declined. This new kind of market needed a workforce, which mainly consisted of women and children. Working conditions were terrible because workers had long hours, low wages, and it was very unsafe and unhealthy. As a result of these conditions, labor unions were created, and these unions demanded less hours, higher wages, and better working conditions. The new factories and industries also led to the development of new ideas and reform movements like abolition, better education, and women's rights. Women wanted to have more rights because after a group of men, called the Boston Associates, wanted women in the workforce, they realized they were not equal to men. At first, the women thought it was great to have jobs in factories because it seemed like they were equal to men. But after women realized that the factories were very strict and the conditions were terrible, they demanded more rights and they organized the first ever factory strike in 1824. Now let's go to the thought bubble to see the brutal conditions for women in factories.
hate my job. It's the worst. Dirty floors, dirty rooms.
What do you say?
Oh, no.
Maggot? Maggot? Maggot?
No.
It's a weave! It's a weave!
No, it's not a weave, I swear. Ow.
Now it's time for the mystery document. If I answer the author correctly, I get nothing. But if I answer it wrong, I get a cat thrown at me.
Hey.
Chef?
The Industrial Revolution has tended to produce everywhere great urban masses that seem to be increasingly careless of ethical standards.
What's your guess?
Henry David Thoreau.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Hudson, but you're a little wrong. The real answer is Irving Babbitt.
Not only the North was growing during this time period, but also the West continued to create new and better ways to farm. Two of the most influential inventions were the steel plow, invented by John Deere, and the mechanical mower reaper, which was invented by Cyrus McCormick and designed to harvest grain faster and more efficiently. People in the Midwest started growing corn and wheat, and because of this, the states of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois became known as the nation's breadbasket. The rapid invention of new farming tools and fast expansion of farming in the West created large-scale production and growth of cash crops. The first industrial revolution in America helped the nation become prosperous and self-sustaining. This resulted in the birth of American industry and the luxuries that we all appreciate today. Thank you all for watching, and I won't see you next week.